Okay, you are now under the sound of Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, Mikael, Yehudi, Israel. Today I'm going to show you people how to overcome the state courts, which are actually federal courts, but they need you to sign your rights away to turn it into a state court ran by a state government who's supposed to be under the Constitution. Okay, we are going to start off with a few laws. 28 U.S.C. 1602 through 1611 is Foreign Sovereign Immunity Act, allows the jurisdiction of a court to be challenged and a demand of proper jurisdiction to be stated. December 26, 1933, 49 Statute 3097, Treaty Series 881. Convention on Rights and Duties of States stated Congress replaced statutes with international law, placing all states under international law. So that's one key thing. All the statutes across America, they are under international law. And the international law that they are under are the UCC codes. December 9th, 1945, International Organization Immunities Act relinquished every public office of the United States to the United Nations. So whoever is operating in America in a public office, they are bound by the United Nations. 22 CFR 92.12 through 92.31 FR heading Foreign Relationships states that an oath is required to take office. So you have to take an oath just to get into public office. I don't care if you're a district attorney, a police officer, a judge, a clerk, prosecuting attorney, any public office you in, you must take an oath to obtain this office. Title 8 U.S.C. 1481 stated, once an oath of office is taken, citizenship is relinquished. So once they take this oath, which is going to be to the United Nations, they're not even an American citizen anymore. Thus, you become a foreign entity, agency, or state. That means every public office is a foreign state, including all political subdivisions. Every single court is considered a separate foreign entity. So we're actually being brought into courtrooms and tried by foreigners. Let's see with what the USC codes have to say about this. Title 28 USC 3002 Section 15A states that the United States is a federal corporation and not a government, including the judiciary procedure section. So we are not under state government rule. We are a federal corporation, and the federal corporation abides by the Constitution. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure states that the court jurisdiction and immunity fall under a foreign state. So when you're brought into a courtroom, you are automatically in a foreigner's courtroom. And they're not supposed to bring you into the courtroom unless they go through the following procedures we are about to cover in a few seconds. And if they haven't went over these following procedures, you can always go back. I don't care if it's 5, 10 years ago, and challenge that jurisdiction and get that case overturned. The 11th Amendment states the judicial powers of the United States shall not be construed to extend to any suit in law or equity commenced or prosecuted against one of the United States by citizens of another state. You know what I mean? Like foreign state who took an oath to the United Nations, or by citizens or subjects of a foreign state. A foreign entity, agency, or state cannot bring any suit against a United States citizen without abiding the following procedure. So this is what they have to do to bring you to court for tickets, child support. I don't care what it is. This is public office. Title 22 CFR 93.1 through 93.2 states that the Department of State has to be notified of any suit, and in turn has to notify the United States citizen of said suit. So if you're getting took to court and you haven't been notified by the Department of State, it's a fraud. They're foreigners, and you're giving them the jurisdiction by showing up, because you just can't appear in these courtrooms. These people are word wizards. That's how they get the jurisdiction over you. Title 28 U.S.C. 1330 states that the United States District Court has to grant permission for the suit to be pursued once the court has been supplied sufficient proof that the United States citizen is actually a corporate entity. So not only do they have to contact the Department of the State, They also must go to the district court, which is the federal court, and they have to go in there and prove that you are a corporate entity, like Walmart, Kmart, and then the federal court has to give them jurisdiction. So if you haven't received any paperwork from the federal court, or you haven't been contacted by the Department of State, everything you just went through jail, court, and all this getting locked up in fines, it's a fraud, people. I'm reading United States Alright, this is my 5th time attempting to record this for y'all, man, but apparently these people really don't want y'all to get the truth. They didn't shut down one of my modems. I put another modem in. Now they didn't shut down all my phone lines. But I'm still coming back to get this truth for you, because I went from AT&T to Cricket in 20 seconds. So I'm not worried. We still coming. Title 22 CFR 9.1 through 93.2 states that the Department of State has to be notified of any suit, and in turn has to notify the United States citizen of said suit. So before they can even come after you with a lawsuit, they have to notify the Department of State. And then the Department of State got to notify you. Then they have to go through another procedure to bring you into court. Title 28 U.S.C. 1330 states that the United States District Court has to grant permission for the suit to be pursued once the court has been supplied sufficient proof that the United States citizen is actually a corporate entity. So then when they contact the Department of State, they got to contact you. Then they got to go through the federal court, and they have to provide in the federal court before a federal jury that you are a corporation, like Walmart, Kmart, Sears. Title 28 U.S.C. 1608, I have absolute immunity as a corporation. July 27, 1868, 15 Statutes at Large, Chapter 249, Section 1, Acts concerning American citizens in a foreign state. Expiration is what is broken when jurisdiction is demanded, and it's not met with an answer. Once you go into court and say, I would like to state for the record, can you provide me that you have adequate proof from the Department of State and from the federal court that you have stepped inside of a federal court in front of a federal jury and provided them with the adequate proof that I'm a corporation? And they won't have it. That's why they said it will not be met with an answer, because they can't answer to it. Now they know that you know they're committing fraud, and the only thing they're going to do is get you out the courtroom. Under the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12b-6, the prosecution has failed to provide adequate proof that the parties involved in this situation are actually corporate entities. I have provided ample proof that the prosecution and other agents are actually corporations. 1950, 81st Congress investigated the Lawyers Guild and determined that the Bar Association is founded and ran by communists under definition. Thus, any elected official that is a member of the bar will only be loyal to the bar and not the people. And under the Constitution is we are the people. But under the Bar Association, which all the judges, lawyers, the prosecuting attorneys, and the clerks and everybody in the court system are loyal to, the bar, they're loyal to the bar, not the people. So they're committing perjury. The penalty of perjury is death. Supremacy Clause, Article 6, Clause 2. All debts contracted and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be as valid against the United States under this Constitution as under the Confederation. This Constitution and the laws of the United States shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. The senators and the representatives before mentioned and the members of the several state legislatures and all executive and judicial officers both of the United States and of the several states shall be bound by oath or affirmation to support this Constitution of the Republic of 1787. But no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. Civil means contract in Latin. The Uniform Commercial Code encompasses contract law, and it's an international treaty, and the treaty has not been broken. The U.S. Constitution encompasses the UCC. See, we are actually dealing with laws of the Bible. The UCC codes, the Constitution of the Republic of 1787, they all come out the Bible. That's why they don't let you keep the Constitution in America, because happy is he who keepeth the law. So they take the Constitution away from you by taking your sovereignty and declaring you a citizen. Definition of citizen in the Black's Law Dictionary is one who can't escape debt. And you wonder why we have it so hard. And you wonder why they're not citizens. They're under the FSIA, Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, because they're foreigners. So they have sovereignty over you. And sovereignty means to be self-governed, to rule as a king and have the power and authority. That's why they exercise perfect power and authority over you, and they're not even U.S. citizens. And they're not even backed up by the Constitution. They're foreigners and they're immigrants, and they got to go home. This was where they took the oath to, and that's the United Nations. People, get smart. Be intelligent, be wise, and don't get trampled on. Stop all this fraud going on in the court. Stop having these people harassing you day by day under laws that are not even laws. They don't even call them laws. They call them statutes, ordinances, and codes, which is contrary to the United States Constitution of the Republic of 1787. Shalom.